Hello, I am doing a Minecraft World Tour type of thing. My world just recently hit 8,000 days, and then I went around and I fixed everything up, and I don't know, I just kind of want a video where you can just kind of see all of it in one place. So, it's going to be kind of long. I mean, it's 8,000 days played, and it's actually started on the console edition, so it's probably more like 10,000, um, which is crazy to think about. So there's a lot here. Um, So, long video. There's gonna be chapters down below. I'm gonna flash on the screen right now some of the more impressive places, I think. So, if you want to go to some of the more impressive places, you can just skip right there. And yeah. So, anyway, we are starting in the world spawn actually. So, if you would join the world, I don't know how you would, but you would spawn right here. This says rules. There actually isn't any rules. This is just the places to visit on the right, and then kind of just telling you what's going on. So if you read the book, you'll know the world was made in April 2019, so it's fairly old, and was made with a bunch of people. Now it's mostly just me and two friends to play on it, and yeah, so I'm just gonna get started. So this is the spawn area. This is the map of Spawn. Spawn is a sizable area. It's pretty big. So we're gonna start on this side simply because this is the newer side and it's the side away from the Nether portal. So we're gonna work kind of towards the Nether here. So starting with I think the most recent addition to Spawn, um, the giant copper golem church. Um, this building is a behemoth. I'm not gonna fully go through it because it's huge, but it's just a giant like maze. Um, I made with my friend, or I made for my friends, and it just goes and goes, and there is so much crammed in here. It's actually quite ridiculous to really look at. So I'm going to just like one of the cool areas, and then I'll get out of here. So as you can just see just the giant cathedral. That's actually a cloud up there poking through. Just an absolute giant building, and I don't know. It was a lot of fun to make. Built it over winter break. And I thought it was a really cool project. So we are now back outside, and what? No. Hey, 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 hey. Just saved that guy's life. So I think just something I'm gonna point out right here is the 4J Studios logo. Me and my friend made that when we moved over to Bedrock because this world started on the PlayStation 4, so got transferred over, and we made that little sign as a commemoration to the Minecraft console edition. Um, so I think if you're reading, you see all the Bobby Shmurda uh, banners and signs and whatever. So my buddy my buddy took over Spawn the other day, or not the other day, the other year, 3 years ago now, and he completely took it over and made it Bobby Shmurtown. And after the rapper Bobby Shmurda, it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, this is how we got him out of jail actually. So he was in jail for honestly I forget what it was, and we built the spawner, and he was free within 2 days. Um, so uh, we don't remove this. This has some aura about it, so we don't touch that. But yeah. Um, beyond that, Spawn just has some nice buildings. We have like a temple, and this is the Bobby Shmurcha. So this is where you buy the merch. So you can buy prison shivs and banners and whatnot. Um, this was my old friend's house. We aren't really friends anymore. So we left his house as a complete ruined thing. His basement he used to have is completely raided and just it's completely just blown to smithereens basically. I don't even know what happens down here. But through over here. And then we get back to this area. Um this was a flower store on my right. So the original idea was there'd be flowers, and you would just like bone meal them, and you would get the flour. But when Bobby Shmurda moved in, I guess he turned it into a store. Shmurda Torch, his album Shmurbucks. I, uh, beats me. This is my old house. So this was my first house here. Um, it's pretty interesting. This is a tutorial house someone made. I don't even know who made it. But it's an interesting enough house. So we just keep it in the back alley. We have a little like farm back here, and this is Homo the Beds. So this was the first building ever on the world. The sign's gone now, but Mario's the cutest stuff. This was the first place, so there was like 8 of us when the world first got made, and we all slept in this little house. And then we made a little like storage shed on the side. So it's a very it's a very interesting place for sure. We have a sheep farm here. Phantom's attacking, of course. We have a stable with a bunch of skeleton horses, which are pretty cool actually. And yeah, so that's for like the main spawn area. That's that. But there's some decently cool stuff outside the walls. So this house, I mean, no one likes. Over here is this is StarCorp. So we had like a corporate war type of thing going on when the world first got made, and it was who can make the most emeralds. And so this had a flying machine farm for sugarcane that was just ridiculous, and then it had a pumpkin farm with the a flying machine also that made us super wealthy, and we won the corporate war. There's a basement. It's just a very interesting area. It'd be like an item sorter thing kind of going on. This place has probably been raided to hell. I'm shocked there's still hoppers in here, if I'm being honest, because no one really lives here anymore. So yeah, it's a pretty neat area. So the last like major component of spawn is this way, and this was John Bob's desert town. So when we first started the world, there was a guy called John Bob, and he would just join the party, and he would just build stuff, right? And it's currently taken over by my friend, who made Bobby Shmurtown, but all the buildings are basically the same. So we have just really nice desert buildings. He made, they might be tutorial buildings, but who knows, really? I don't know. I didn't build this place, but it's definitely very fun to just walk down and kind of see all of the stuff down here. And then the giant menacing church in the back. It's ginormous. So, oh, look at this thing. I wonder if this still works. This used to be like an Elytra launcher. Oh, damn it. Hey, it does kind of work. That's fun. So, for spawn, that's kind of it. I'm gonna show some more miscellaneous stuff before I move on. Actually, I mean, if you want to look at the shopping mall, I haven't been here in forever. So, I made a shopping mall back when this was like a large server. I would be able to like rent out spaces. No one ever did because the building's ugly as hell, but it's pretty neat. I have no clue what went on in this building. But yeah, so that's spawn. Actually, there is one thing I forgot, and that was the secret base. Oh, not the right button. So, I got scared of people stealing all my stuff. So what I did is I made a hole in the wall, or a little like hole in the ground where I would put all my stuff, and I lived in this little ravine right under spawn for a little bit. It's a pretty neat area, if I'm being honest. It's basically just like an underground bunker under spawn. There's nothing really cool here. It's just a big place. And I don't know. It's just a neat area, so I figured I'd show it. I'm also gonna brag about the redstone still working after to switch to bedrock. So you can walk on the pressure plate. It sends a thing up, opens up the top, and I should fly. Oh, yeah, I should just fly out. So that's pretty cool. So so for just some miscellaneous stuff in the middle of actually nowhere, I was in the 7th grade when I made this, I believe. We were learning about like ancient Mesopotamia ziggurats, and I thought, wow, I should make one, and then I did. So that's what this is. This is a pretty neat building. I'm getting jumped out here, and then over here in the desert is I don't have any fireworks. Over here is Area 51. So Area 51 is this place. Me and my friend. Do they not burn? I swear they should be burning. Oh, there they go. Oh, it's raining. Oh. But Area 51 was our huge netherwort farm. We had a gold farm going on over here. So this place is kind of a trash heap. This is a very ghetto area in the grand scheme of the world. But there was like an enchanting table. There's some pretty cool stuff over here. But it's really nothing to write home about. I just wanted to include it for sake of having a complete tour of the world. So spawn is, for reference, spawn is pretty far that way. And I'm actually going back to spawn right now, and then we can head into the nether and start going for some real cool stuff, actually. So now we are back in the spawn area, and in this little corner, you can come down, and this is a like underground area. So we used to have a spawner actually right at spawn. So this was the OG XP farm and the OG enchanting. It got broken somehow, so no more spawner there, but all the bones of it are still there. And then here's the main nether portal. So if you come into this, you go into the nether hub, and the nether hub has some pretty neat stuff in it. Well, it's basically the hub for every part of the world, so there's actually a lot of stuff here. This is how you get everywhere. So everywhere is pretty labeled. Just gonna show all the labels. So you come into this circle and you just follow the signs to where you want to go. So we're gonna go in order of expansion from the world. So we started with the end portal. So come down here. Cuts into another fortress actually, but it's an old nether fortress, so it doesn't count for anything anymore. So nothing can spawn here. No. So the end town is my poor attempt at copying the desert village of John Bob, so the one I saw earlier. So this is my colorless, kind of boring buildings. I had a lot of sheep though, so that's interesting, I guess. And over there was a house someone made, just completely random. Just 2 towers. I forget who built this, but this has just been here forever. I have no idea who it belongs to, but I don't know. No one's removing it, so it's just gonna stay there. This building without a roof is the end portal actually. So you come inside, go down these steps, and you will be in the end. There's nothing in the end, and it's not really worth going into the end, and then I get sent back to my spawn, and it's a whole mess. So I won't be going into the end for anything. But yeah, so this is the desert town. This was the second town in the entire world. So this was still very early on, probably still April 2019 this was all made. So where we're going next is actually the major expansion of the world. So our next step after spawn and beating Ender Dragon with villagers. That's all we wanted to do. So I went into a creative world. I located a village in a plains biome. Because actually the lore was we couldn't find a plains biome because the world was built on console edition with large biomes on. So the entire world is a desert in like the OG console area, except for the space we're going to right now, basically. So I found this like spruce area. There's some plains in there, some mountains actually, and it's a pretty neat area. So we're going in there right now. So this is probably the worst looking spot in the world though. I said pretty neat. I completely lied. It is it's very unfinished, very old. So you come out here, you think, wow, this place is awesome, and then you jump up and like you got like holes in the things. The buildings are kind of falling apart. Like over here, I don't even know what's going on. Like just an OG village style of thing. So I'll walk through it, but it's gonna be very brief. There's actually nothing up there. You can see everything from down here. In this building, we actually have a dual spawner setup, which is pretty neat. So over here is, oh, is it down here? Yeah, over here is our spider spawner. It actually does work. I tested this out the other day. I don't know where they are, but th trust me, they can spawn. Oh, I just think I heard one. And then down here, there is skeleton spawner. They're up there rattling. Not really gonna wait for them. And then we have like a pumpkin farm and just a whole bunch of nothing down here. So I don't know. This place is pretty lame, but as we get more towards where the villagers are, it gets way cooler. So I'm gonna find a puddle of water and rip tied up. So we have like an ugly blue house someone made here, and there's a rail station that this actually leads to the end of town, and then it goes back to spawn. So really, not a whole lot to see on the rail. That's why I didn't take it. Over here we have a zoo. This was just a big project I did because I was bored, and it's not actually a zoo. This was made right after the switch to Bedrock. This is very this was made a long time after that town over there. But the world corrupted and I couldn't have anyone on, but if I played single player, the world would not corrupt. So I was just playing by myself, and I made this little thing. I have all the animals in a pen and the big thing. I was gonna do other biomes in here. I was gonna have like a dark oak and stuff, but at the time there really wasn't that many passive mobs. So I didn't know what to really fill it up with. So this place just ended up being incomplete. And but the yeah, oh yeah, actually, no, I did get dark oak. So I got like dark oak, I got spruce, and I got oak. And then in there I had no idea what I wanted. But I think if I did it now, probably pale oak or like cherry blossom probably. But remains empty. Maybe one day I'll go back and I'll finish it. Over here is where the villagers are though. So I made a little town over here. This is the complete facade town. There's actually nothing here. I guess a creeper blew this up or something. I don't know what happened to this, but it was a nice-ish house. This is like a fishing house I made, a fishing hut, and this is a future train station that my friend is working on. So nothing really down there though. It's just a big stone tunnel, so I won't be really visiting. Anyway, over here, villagers. I tend to not really do the stall villagers setup. I mean, there's some like rooms for them, but I thought it was just a pain in the ass. So we tend to have a open villager policy, and you just kind of find the guy you trade with. Out of like the millions of dudes here. So I haven't really used this in forever. I have my own villagers and whatnot, but it's a pretty cool place. I'm stuck in the thing. So yeah, I mean this is all still relatively old build. So I'm gonna head to something more new. I'm gonna head to my friend's base actually. He lives nearby, and yeah, I'll meet up with you there. My buddy's probably one of the most thorough people on the server. He is very thorough about everything. So this is his base. He lives in like a log cabin sort of deal. This is the same guy who does like Bobby Shmurtown and makes everything very interesting. But he has a very beautiful house actually. Oh man, the shelves. I didn't even notice he put shelves in here. It's a very nice area. And this isn't really the main part of his base, though. The main part of his base is this giant hole he has out front. So he has like a sheep farm, he has like micro farms and stuff all around. And then you come down, and this is all a major work in progress. But he has this enchanting room, which is just beautiful. Like the candles, the carpet, the lectern. I don't want to mess with it too much. I don't know what it does, but it looks pretty cool. And this is like his B area, so he has like wheat. Over here is my favorite room. This is his smeltery and then his armory, and he has every single armor trim in the game. And he also has a bunch of netherite templates and netherite. So he's very rich. Um, he just has everything out and about. This is a flex right here. The what is it? Silence? Yeah, the silence with the netherite trim on diamond armor is absurd, but it's a very cool area. I really love what he did with that. And then I swear I just saw that move. Okay. Oh, this is actually a map of his little base. So yeah, you can see his whole thing. That's actually cool. I didn't even notice that before. And then oh yeah, then this is the map of his base, and then the larger area where we just were. And then like you can see the villager area and the little zoo area. That's sick. I didn't even know he was working on that. And this is where his pets are. So, you know, he has his little horses. He has this wolf with the armadillo armor, foxes, an Arctic fox. This is a very nice base when you really get to it. Oh, he also just has a mace on display, because of course he does. So, with that, we are going to be going to my base, or my first base. I have two pretty big bases. We're gonna be going to my base next. I hate phantoms so much. It's a problem. So I will meet you in the Nether. Alright, so now we're back in the Nether. This is just like an ancient city, so this will just take you to a structure. I'm not really gonna go down that path, but this is my base, and then the BBC, which is a different base. My buddy made it's his old base, which is has some lore to it. So we're going up the beautiful gradient into my old base. So this is my Nether thing I have going on. I made this right after the Nether update came out, and it's I don't know. I think it turned out really, really cool, especially from that angle. But you come up here and go through this portal, and you're at my base. So this is one of the bigger areas on the server. A lot of stuff here is like empty or kind of unfinished. I was like, I probably had this base from the ages of like 12 to 15 ish. So I was very not attention to detail oriented. Like I wasn't very detail oriented. Stuff is just kind of here, but we spawn in this little room, and I think this is a trend I kept from my next base. Is that it starts off pretty small, and then you walk out, and you get just a view of the entire base, and you can really get a sense of scale. So I mean, this place is massive. I'm gonna start over here because this place doesn't really have anything like have any purpose to it. So this was a really large netherwort farm, and that's all it was. I mean, if for this giant building for all that, and I mean, it's a cool building, so I figured it's worth checking out. That's the tower where we came from, by the way. And you can see a mountain I never finished terraforming. So, like I said, my attention to detail was kind of when I made this place. So we're gonna start over here. This is a castle. I guess there was some graffiti done. I never really worked on any interiors or anything, so just a giant I mean, it looks awesome, but this is a map of the base. It's a pretty big area actually, so very dense. It's very packed with stuff. So moving outside of the castle, there's nothing. Actually, no, not moving outside the castle. Moving in the castle, because there is one thing I missed, which is so this castle, like most castles, was built off the back of someone else's land. So someone built their base in the wall here, and I paid him millions of dollars to move. And then I built a giant castle over where he lived, and that was right here. So this is a base I covered up, and It's not my base, but it's just funny that it's still here, and I did nothing with it, and I just forced them to move out because I wanted to build a giant castle. Because why not? I love vanity and whatnot. There's a hole in the wall. That's so much fun. Not fixing that. And yeah, so this is like the farming district I made. So this is a very wooded area. Lots of torches on the floor. Like kind of ugly lighting. Made that windmill. The windmill looks pretty actually all right. Like looking at it now, not bad looking. This is like the farmhouse. This was just like a little shed I had. There's not much interior, so I'm not really going into that stuff. But like that is nothing inside of it. The windmill has nothing inside of it. This is my enchanting room. So, you know, there's some tables, and then there's an enchantment table up here. So that place had a pretty good interior. This was my blacksmith, like smithing area, but everything's been moved out of here now or broken, so nothing's really in there. I believe this was the stone cutter. Yeah, so it was a little stone cutter building. Perfect cut stone. This is the mine area. So this was actually the storage shed. This was the OG storage shed, and it is just a line of chests. I haven't looked at them in forever. Down here is the mine. It's low-key a mess, but it's the mine. Over here is where my furnace area was going to go, and then I realized a circle for a furnace area is not a really good idea, so that never really came to fruition. Over here, in this little dome, is actually the original entrance of the base, the first thing I built, and I think it's still one of the coolest things ever, where you kind of come down the spiral staircase, and there's a tree in the middle, and then you come down to the bottom, there's some benches, and the lectern. Town of Newlands, that's not what I call it anymore. It was created on May 22nd, 2019. Feel free to explore. So it's very old, nearing 70 years old. But yeah, so torches everywhere are a common theme because, you know, little me didn't know how to light stuff. I still don't, if I'm being honest. This was my war district because when I first made this town, there was a bug where the area from... Actually, here, I'll hop in the tower and I'll... Never mind. I guess I'm not hopping in the tower? Oh no, yes I am. The area from where that like mansion is and that little walkway, that was all a pillager outpost. So the wall actually had a purpose where it would... Because pillagers would just spawn. I didn't know why. So the wall cutting through the base was actually like a functional wall, stopping the pillagers from raiding my town. Which I mean, it's a pretty cool lore thing. Is it my dog? It's actually my dog. Oh my god, I don't have many dogs anymore. So, let's go over here. Oh wow, speaking of the OG pillager base. It's not one anymore because Bedrock removed it when I moved to Bedrock, so all the structures didn't really stay. But I guess this is a prisoner. I'm not gonna touch him. I'll let him be. So when that update finally happened, I made this new wing, so it keeps the claustrophobic feel for a little bit. We just have tiny houses, nothing in them. Big houses. You can take a guess what's inside. Nothing. This house doesn't even have a back of the roof, so that's fun. This doesn't have an actual interior, but it is my storage room underneath. So you press this button, the pistons go back, and you just hold, sneak, and you sink down after a while. And yeah, so this was my OG storage room. Another map of the base. This was my next storage room after the OG. Pretty cool. I used to get my riches in here. And this leads to nowhere. I've done stuff with this before, but then the world got corrupted, and then I had to revert back to a backup. So nothing's really in there right now. I don't really mind. I don't spend much time at this base anymore. We built some scaffolding because I felt like it was too empty. So there's just some weird scaffolding. And then this is the hole. So the hole is built off the backs of my friends, and they dug out this whole hole for me. And this is a dripstone farm because it actually does grow. I just completely didn't understand how slow it was, because dripstone grows slowly. Okay, it's a miracle there's actually anything in this farm. So yeah, I just have some stuff from when Caves and Cliffs came out. It's a pretty neat area. So this is my underground like ice pathway. Down there is my villager breeder. I'm not going down there because they all get transferred to the actual villager system, which this doesn't work anymore, or I don't think it ever actually worked. This is a terrible highway. Oh man, oh man, I don't know how I lived with that. And then over here we have the villagers. So they used to be in like pods, but then they kept changing workstations, and I couldn't deal with it, so I just opened it up. And yeah, so this is the villager system for this base. Down here is like a man cave inspired area from Etho's lab. So if you've ever watched that, you can tell like there's like the lava creeper and the grass on the floor, the very simple block pallets. My super smelter. I use super very. Ooh, that's 50 furnaces. I use super very liberally. Got my brewing area over here, so just like some brewing stands, some nether wart, a bunch of material. Actually, I didn't even know this was here. I might raid that later. Secret chest. Secret chest. And then down there's like another mine. Nothing really of importance. I mean, I guess I'll go down here. There's some pretty neat stuff. When Caves and Cliffs first came out, this was like the expedition below the bedrock, so we have a minecart that goes down and then goes all the way down. So you would load it here, then you would send it up, and then we'll put it in the chest up top. Pretty neat. I never used it because I moved shortly after Caves and Cliffs came out. I moved to my new base. So I wasn't really here long enough to use it. And yeah, so I'm gonna head back up topside using the stairs down here. So this is like the main entrance of the cave. This is just a big area that I never used, but 49 dark oak law. Oh wow, jackpot! Packed ice I'll take too. It was just random stuff everywhere, so it's always worth looking through barrels because you never know what you might find. Stone, nothing really too worth it. So this is just like an underground fungus area. I don't know. I thought it was cool because it was built under the foundation of the giant mansion type thing. So I made a little mansion. No interior, of course, but it looks really cool. So yeah, that's that. Over here, I didn't want to do any big buildings anymore, but I still wanted to expand the base. So pathways, leaves, random pathways that go nowhere. A little hole in the wall. There's some farms here that I don't think work anymore. There's an ice highway over here, which just leads back to where we came from. So I'm not really going to deal with it, but it's there. The micro bamboo farm over there. I actually did work out of here for a little while. There was a time when this was my main room. I have this whole crazy base and I lived in a little closet, which was interesting. This was nothing. Oh, there's signs, chest. Oh, this was a shop. Made no money. No one ever came over here. I don't know why I made a shop. Oh wow, I completely forgot I have a little pen for my horses. This is actually really cool. Walter White is in here. I think this comes down and comes up. It does. That's neat. I like that. Complimenting my own base. This was a fishing hut I made while I was in online class in like 8th grade. So you know you can definitely tell its age. I'm using different color windows and just a 2-block hole in the wall. I don't know. Over here, this was the final part of the base before I moved, and I'm like, yeah, my style's changing too much. I really gotta move somewhere new, and then I never built like this ever again, but I think it's a very cool base, or very cool house. Just a lot of details in it. This one does have an interior, kind of. Some barrels, has a little arch, so something. Over here, I never detailed the front of it, but this has a super interior. This place is awesome. And this was, I think, which made me want to do my new base. So, it's just a giant building, and lots of cool stuff in here. Not really fully complete, but it's complete enough, and I'm still very proud of it. So, there is one more area of this base that I have to check out, and that is the pumpkin farm. So I discovered Technoblade for the first time, and I thought, wow, he's farming potatoes. What could I farm obscene amounts of and would be really fun to make a giant farm out of? And I thought, pumpkins. So this is a huge manual pumpkin farm. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 layers of this. Or maybe only 2. I remembered way more. Really? Only 2? Okay, there's 2 layers of this. And this is just a lot of pumpkins. And spent a lot of time working on it. Oh yeah, there's only 2. Huh. So, in the meantime, I am now going to walk back to the Nether portal. There's some interesting stuff on the way. So, figured I'd take you with me. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did at spawn, where I'm going to go to some miscellaneous areas. So, this is a hallway with actually no purpose. This is the long way, but I wanted to show it off. I made a world tour of the video when I was really young, and this was the first thing I made after, thinking, I gotta make the world bigger. Let me make a winding hallway to puff out time. And I made a winding hallway. This is my bee farm. Doesn't work anymore. Pretty interesting. I have a little small sugarcane farm. Produces like nothing. Produces peas. This is just like a closet. I don't even know. Looks like the back room's in there. And then over here this was like a storage room. This was my actual furnace room I used. I liked it a lot. Had a weird pallet thing going on, but it looked nice. This was a stone mine I used. A door's missing because of course it is. And then this was where the Nether portal was. So right up these stairs. So I'm going to hop off the Nether for just a little bit. We'll come back to the Nether portal after I show some smaller areas that I think are interesting to show. Alright, so this is just another neat area. This is Money Town. So when I was trying to get hella bread, I would mine a bunch of sand and do a bunch of raids, and I would sell them to the villagers in this house. So this is kind of my villager strategy whenever I start a new world. Is I come into a existing village, and I move all the beds into a little house, and I start placing beds, and they just get to work. And they start producing hella bread for me, which is awesome. And yeah, this was very Luke the Notable inspired of just how he made so much money. And yeah, I mean, I mined a bunch of the sand here. This is just behind, I guess, my base. You can kind of see the chunk areas loading, or like the chunks of what the modern seed could be, and then it kind of updates and becomes like the actual terrain. Oh, I'm pretty sure someone's underwater base. I completely forgot about this. They just made a little dome. What's in here? What is this? I have no idea what this is. There's just 2 furnaces. I did not make that. But, yeah, I'm just gonna fly this way a little bit, because I think the old terrain is kind of interesting. And, over here there is, an important part of the world. It's not supposed to be there. This is where I used to get dirt. Where is the thing? Alright, I think it's that little pillar over there. I'll be right back when I'm there. So it was not at that pillar, but I found what I was looking for, and this is England. So, he's got a compost farm. Whoa! This thing makes hella bread. Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what it does. This thing's self-sustainable? How does it... Hold on, I gotta figure this out. What is in here? It's not using bone meal? This is crazy, and it just shits out bone meal. England has some crazy technologies. I want to make that. I think that's cool. I'll have to look up something. Oh my god! So England, every now and then, the person who comes back to the endstone wall. There's signs in here I want to read. Here lies Benny, beloved horse, king and queen of the British, and not Benny. They will be missed. That's beautiful. Benny's pen. Oh, this is so sad. Benny was a horse who died when we tried to transfer them to a different area. It's a tragic story. So I'm gonna fly this way for a minute, and I just wanna point out something which I think is very neat. So this is all bedrock terrain generation, but right past this river is old console edition terrain. So it has this really weird canal around all of the old console like edition stuff, and it just goes all the way. And it's just really neat. So we're gonna loop back in. Is that terrain? No, that's a pillar. See, there's just stuff everywhere. Like, genuinely, you can go anywhere in the old console edition, and every 2 feet, there's just something random happening. What is this? Made of blackstone and brick. Oh, what the fuck? I'm going in. Doing the slow fall technique. Oh my god, this thing goes down. Where am I ending up? Where the fuck am I? Oh my god. I guess this was able to generate because I wasn't in the, no one was really in these chunks when the Caves, when Caves and Cliffs, or the Wild update, which is what this structure is from, came out. So it was able to just spawn under console edition. That's really interesting, actually. And I guess my buddy found it, and this is his. We're gonna loot his stuff. Huh? That's really neat. And I guess this is just gonna go to the Nether hub. There's another portal. It's probably linked. Oh. Let's see. Oh wait, yeah, I know where this is. This should be right by, yeah, so this is the old villager area portal. So you probably saw this path, if you were wondering what it was. That was it. So, I'm gonna go back to my base, and then there's just 3 or 4 more buildings I gotta show, and then we can move on to the next major city. Here we go. So right here is some houses. So over there you can see kind of the big church building, and that's my base I just like showed over there. And this is some other buildings that my friends made. So my German friend made this. She put a decent amount of effort into it, so figured I'd show it off. Terrace, private. And then, there's a second building. This one, from what I remember, was never really finished, but I'll have a look inside, yeah. And then there's the one on the hill, which is, I think, a completely different person made this. But we're gonna have a look, because I've never been in this building before. It's low-key ugly, but it's fine. I guess there's a forest fire here. I don't even... How did I get that through the... Well... That's pretty neat. And then over here, is my buddy's base. He just had a little farm. He had a bunch of shulkers. Oh man. And then he lived in this little hole, kind of similar to what my friend was living in earlier, but this is a way less polished version. Ooh. And I think both these lead to the same. He has a little mine shaft, and it goes down. Yeah, they both go to the same area. And he's lived down here. It's honestly a pretty nice area. He has his bed, like a mine, little dwarf hole. It's a very cool area. And that is the end of this kind of side of the world, right? So we have to keep chugging along the Nether, and we are going to wind up at the BBC next, I believe. So back to the Nether portal, and we're back in the Nether. So the Nether pathway continues down here. And we are going to the Bastion base. So when the Nether update first came out, we started renovating a Bastion. It was one with the magma cube spawner in it, but it got broken somehow. So it's not here anymore, but pretty cool area. I didn't get down all the way to the bottom, but the first like 4 floors are renovated, and I think they look pretty cool actually. I'm pretty actually happy with this area. My friend's clowning me for never having finished this, but it's fine. So we fly down here. I believe there's a more streamlined way to get down here, but I took the long way. There is another ice boat. And this is the BBC. So the BBC is my friend's base. It's his first base. And it was just, I mean, you'll see it, but BBC stands for the Big Black Complex. Nothing else it could possibly stand for. And you access it through this pretty neat nether castle and that ugly ass tunnel, but it's pretty sweet actually. You'll get a pretty good view out from the top of the tower. So, pretty neat. Lots of just random bullshit around this area though, but no one really leaves the castle, so it don't matter. So, let me get outside just so you can see where we are. This is the BBC. It is the big Blackstone Square. Over here, I believe is a mob farm. So if you go down here, go farm mobs. The Trident Killer, probably a spawner. It's pretty neat. Wrong button. Then there's a pretty nice hallway. And then over this way is there used to be a bunch of villagers. I don't know if they're still here. Oh, they are. So all these little cells lead to villagers. Just big blackstone rooms. And then drop down unlimited chests. So many chests. And a big blackstone room. There's some lore. Or there used to be lore. The lore got moved, I think. There's a trap and another big blackstone room. So it's a pretty neat area, I guess. Then there's this fuck ass thing. Okay, I made it out first try. No, this place has a lot of buildings and interesting things around it. Just because people like to live over here, I guess. I don't know. So we're gonna start flying by and seeing some of them. Over here, someone set up a nice little hole. We got a whole kitchen and I think the worst bedroom I've ever seen, but it's cool. It's a nice little cozy area. MTV Cribs, I guess. I'm not using this. This is a scam. This pathway's a scam. Over there is an old pillager farm, but it looks like it's seen better days. It looks... Honestly, it looks almost beautiful with how destroyed it is. Like, in a way, that's art. Just a bunch of floating blocks. So the raid farms don't work anymore ever since, like, the bad omens and stuff, so... They just kind of sit there. But we had a couple raid farms in this world. And I am gonna go find the town that's nearby. I always forget where it is, but there's a pretty sizable town nearby. Oh man, it took so long to find because it's not really linked up. It uses the same portal as the other place. But this was made by some random people that joined, and they settled down over here. So one of them lived in this behemoth. They have a beautiful lighting system, I think, going on. A beautiful bridge, beautiful community, and then they have this castle. Beautiful path at the start. And honestly, for like some of the people that join and build, this is probably like one of the nicer ones. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is a very nice area. And very nice building. It's missing stuff in the back, but they got animal pens back here. They got pigs. They got cows. I mean, have a wheat farm. Like, what more could you want? So, back here is also, there's more. There's Avengers Tower. About one block gets placed on Avengers Tower every 2 years. And progress is consistent and very steady. So we'll have this done by 2050. In the meantime, this is where the chief architect of Avengers Tower is living. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then over here, there's actually something pretty nice. I'm slow as shit, so you're just gonna have to guess what it is as I run over. But wait, oh yeah, I'm the best parkour to ever do it. It's not that. I don't even know what that is. We can check that out after. But this is actually LeBlanc from Persona 5. And it's like the little cafe. If you've ever played it, you can get like coffee. This is where you live in the game. Then you come up here. They have Morgana, not named, but this is the little like attic you like live in. Not consistent with the game. They have roof access. And you can use roof access to get to the abominate. Like, what is this? This is an affront to any. This is an affront to God. Oh yeah. So, truly just a beautiful building, but LeBlanc's cool, even though it hides. What was the point of this? I'm so confused. LeBlanc has a. Oh wow. A secret. So if you come to the bathroom. So that was the end of the main highway. We hit every single one of these spots on these signs. So now we're gonna head down this one. This is the Attack on Titan and Mesa. So it's a pretty actually neat area. Albeit a little unfinished. What is this tunnel? I have no idea where I'm going actually. This is not on the itinerary. What is this place? Oh, it's a frogblade farm. Oh, that's cool. I have no idea what's. Oh, we are okay. We're not gonna mess with that. But I didn't know that was here. That guy just despawned. That's crazy. So, moving on. The Attack on Titan district is this way. So the world gets pretty spread out. Just because we like to find the right terrain, and another highway isn't terrible to make. Everything's linked up, so. This place needs another hub, for sure. Especially since it's such a big area. Oh, fuck you. That's it, they're getting it. Yeah, that's right. So, one day, me and my friend sat down and we said, yeah, we're gonna build Shiganshina. And then we kinda did. I mean, it's not really Shiganshina. It's an Attack on Titan. It's an Attack on Titan inspired base. So this is like the training camp-ish area. This was supposed to be the area where they have Eren like cornered with a bunch of like cannons. If you've ever watched, what is this? 57, 420. People just be placing shit. People just be placing shit. So it's a whole town Attack on Titan inspired, and it's pretty like densely decorated. There's actually like a bunch of stuff around the town. The interiors they leave a lot to be desired. There's all floors and everywhere. So it's better than some places, but there's like nothing actually in the bases. But it is a massive wall. And the wall's thick too. I mean, it's not solid, of course, but we went around. It was a ginormous project. Me and my friend we did it together. Shot a little alligator. But it's a giant area, and I don't know. I'm very proud. I think the houses look like pretty good for what they are. Over here, this was supposed to be the tree. Oh, wait a minute. Before we touch on the tree, big government doesn't want you to know that several llamas were killed in this pit. They keep on denying it, but it's actually true. So, yeah. Anyway, to the tree that's not lit. This is supposed to be a tree that's pretty important to the show, but it didn't really pan out the way I think the creator wanted it to, but I mean, I still think it looks very good. It still looks like a very good custom tree. And down here, there's there's like a little base going on. It was never completed because the owner moved before he just moved before there was a lot of work done. He wasn't really into it. But I think this room is pretty cool, so I figured it was worth showing. I really like the forge in the middle. That guy just got killed. Oh my god! Is there a bed down here? There's slimes? Oh dude, this place sucks. I see why he moved. Yikes. Alright, hold up. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it out. Run, run, run. Ah! To the Nether. Run. Alright. We're back in civilization. So we're just gonna come back through the portal. And then we're gonna ride to the Mesa, which is super impressive, super awesome. There's so much stuff going on over there. It's definitely not a single building. Yeah. Where's the thing? Alright. This is where the Mesa tunnel is. It's a smaller tunnel because it's just not. It was not worth the effort for it. Beautiful sideways portal too. Just only the most effort in the Mesa. I love the loading time. So we have a little shed, have some cranes. The most important thing is here we have a beacon, and we mine terracotta. It's labeled in the Nether hub, so I figured I would come here. But that's all for this part of the highways. So back to the main circle, and then we're going down the final leg of highways, which also happen to be some of the biggest stuff. So yeah, alright. So I think the next thing to really visit is Broken Guardian Farm. It is on the list, and might as well visit it. It doesn't work anymore. You know, it's called the Broken Guardian Farm for a reason. But still, I mean, back in the day when it was made for console edition, it was this huge farm. It didn't really survive as long as I wanted it to. But don't look at that. It's not important. This is what's important. So it was this huge. Why is there? How did that guy even get there? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. No. Riptide is underrated. So the way the farm is supposed to work is that they're supposed to get pushed up above the fence gates, and then they get pushed out into the actual farm. But when Bedrock came out, the Guardians were able to just swim against the current, so they don't really go in no more. So this place was also always a little bit unpolished. The way you would oh, I can't see nothing down here, but it's a conduited, so you can just like kind of get around. There's a little tunnel in the wall, and this is our kill chamber. So, oh yeah, that's me and my buddy. Water equals XP, air equals drops. Simple, simple. Alright, so now we're back in here, and you're going to Starbase 2. But we actually aren't doing that. We're going to a different place first, but it uses the same Nether hub. And I'm technically not supposed to show this, but I think it's funny as shit. Read the sign. Or if you want, read the book. And then use your elytra in the corner. And then run in. And then if you want to skip, you can skip 3 minutes and 36 seconds ahead. But if you don't, you can bear witness to the craziest ice pathway in the world. And all the chunk loading issues that it has. So I built this in a weekend. I could have been doing anything else with my time, but I chose, you know, might as well just like make a really long tunnel. And I mean, it's really long. I mean, it's useful. It saves a lot of time. People have died and lost all their stuff going to where I'm trying to go right now, but I made the tunnel, and it was the tunnel was not supposed to be made. The tunnel was a secret, and I didn't tell anyone about it until I met up with my friends, and I'm like, yo, by the way, I built a tunnel, and they didn't really care, but like, you know, just gotta make sure, because listen, my ass was not walking. I think this comes out to like 7,000 blocks or some bullshit, especially since it's not diagonal, so it's like both length and width components, I guess. So it's just so many blocks. Oh my god, things I'm running out of things to say, but I'm determined to show this entire path off, and because I made it. And I mean, it just kind of goes. And then it just kind of goes some more. Then yeah, you know, gathering all the ice for this and then doing this and then just all the mining was so long. And then I had to run this like every time, and it took so much food. And then I ran out of food. My cow pets ran out of cows, so I had to start like wasting emeralds on bread. It was a whole thing. So the food shortage has been solved. I have a pumpkin pie farm where I get all my food from. I just flipped like a lever, and you'll see that in a minute. But for when I was making this, it was a pain in the ass. So, you know, I made this, I think, over the summer. I hope it was over the summer. I forget when I made this, to be honest with you. But I spent an obnoxious amount of time on this. There's a piece of glowstone on the floor, and I probably made this over the summer. I mean, it was either the end of my senior year of high school or summer between freshman year of college and last year of high school. So I've been given a lot of like dates and ages. So like I've had this world 2019. It's 2026 now. So the world's gonna be turning 7. And I'm 19. So it's a very interesting world to have. That's just kind of like a time capsule when I was younger. Anyway, now we're here. Give me my boat. And now we gotta climb the stairs of doom. So yeah, it was about 8,000 blocks. 8,000, yeah, 8,300. Starts at about 0-0-ish. That's absurd. It's absurd. I don't know why I did it. But now I can include it in the tour, because my ass would not fly this if I had to fly. Jump, jump. See, look, there's no stairs. This is actual poverty. But I like the old portal, and then the new portal was just 3 blocks away. It just really sells the whole poverty idea. It sells poverty until you get into the actual base, and then you realize, oh shit, this place is awesome. So it's a cherry forest up top here, and then it's a little area. So, you know, there's a house. Pretty nice interior upstairs. He hasn't really done anything. So this is my friend's base. And he has a big dirt cube. This is gonna be his mega base in the future. So just have faith, this dirt cube's gonna turn into something. I've helped design it. It looks very good. And then there was this temple, which this temple is sick. This is the storage room. This is his storage room, I guess. Dirt wood. So it's a very cool area. I'm gonna explore the interior because I don't really come here that often. Is it all ladders? They are. How do I get in this building? Oh, the finals. Okay. The bedroom. That's pretty cool. What's up here? This looks like a dungeon. Yeah, this is just a dungeon. Alright. Just gonna come this way. We're gonna walk the bridge. It looks kind of like a pink rain. It's a cherry tree with the falling leaves. That's what it is. Oh, that's cool. Then there's the beautiful staircase. I got my beacon effects. That was actually so bad. But yeah, this place is sick. I mean, this is an awesome little area my friend's got going on. And I want to show it off. I'm not gonna ride that thing back on camera. So I'll meet up with you when I am at the Nether. Or when I'm at the next area. Alright. We are inbound to the final destination of the world. So this is my new base. This is my Nether hub. The back wall is not done, so I can expand it, and there's holes in the floor. And there's an unpolished staircase. You're just gonna have to take my word. This place is not terrible looking. There are flame torches everywhere. Yeah, this place is trash. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm really bad at lighting. But we're gonna go this way. We're gonna tiptoe through the main area. And we're gonna go to the new Guardian farm first. Whoa! So the other Guardian farm broke. So I thought I really need sea lanterns. I need a new Guardian farm. And that's where this place came in. This place is the Guardian farm I use now. So the Bedrock Guardian farms, if you haven't made one, are very simple to make. You literally just get some blocks, and the Guardians can only spawn on certain blocks. So you just fill them up, and the Guardians are forced to spawn where you want them to spawn. Those guys are terrifying. And then what ends up happening is, since they're forced to spawn where I want them to, it's really easy to just get them in a cold chamber. That should not be like that. It should be up. Nope. How did that guy get there? He's not supposed to be there. Yeah. So it is very efficient. It takes a minute to kick in, but once it's in, they just start flying. So I'm gonna get out of here before it gets too crazy in there. But I mean, it's a pretty cool building. I'll do a little fly around. Just a long, like, staircase looking thing, but I'm a huge fan of it, actually. So the next farm is completely broken and doesn't work, but I built it, and then like a month later they changed creeper spawning mechanics, and now my creeper farm, which is what type of farm it is, doesn't work. But it's still cool to visit, and it's in my little chunk of the Nether hub. So we're gonna visit it. I don't ever come down here anymore because the farm doesn't work. So it's gonna be a little weird for me rediscovering this place. I don't even remember it being too good looking either. So we'll see. Um, 12 hoppers. I'm gonna have to loot this place in a minute. But there's a giant floating island. Oh wow, there's actually so much gunpowder in here still. So for spawns, you just make a floating island and it's very ugly. That's why it's so far away from my actual base. No, no, no! I'm gonna make it up. We're gonna make it. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat. But now it's time for the final chunk of the world. Now this is, I think, twice the size of every other area. Not to gas myself up or anything, but this is definitely. I've had this base. So the world was made in 2019. I was 6th grade. Um, I had I had my first base from what, May 22nd, 2019 to about the start of my freshman year of high school, and I'm in my freshman year of college right now. There's a gas in here, of course there is. Why? What's the point of this? But I'm in my freshman year of college now, so I've had this place for a long time. So it's just gotten bigger than anything really. I've had it for twice the time of the other base. So here it is. When it loads. Yeah, this is it. It's a nice little humble. We have a little house. Got some books. So this is where I used to do all my enchanting. So you would come down here, we would enchant, and it was a nice little like Zen garden. But from my other base, I really like the concept of coming out from like a cave or like a tower, and then you can kind of see the world. This one does it a little bit differently. So you come out of the cave and you just see the house, and then you walk out and you see all the crazy tall buildings. And it's this place is a lot. So so this is my house. This is the Hujuko residence. And yeah, so I put my pets on the front porch. They kind of chill. They can't leave, so they can't despawn. Up here is my bedroom with my pet bees that are stuck in my table. So that's the building I was just in with all the books and stuff. Over here, this was the third building I made. This was supposed to be my furnace room. Never really panned out, so it's just kind of a brick building, but I like the color it brings to the area, so it's very nice for sure. I'm gonna head down this way. There's a lot of places to be. So this is the sniffer pen in this mud building. This was a very Wild Update themed building. These used to be trapdoors until I switched them out for shelves, because trapdoors, when you are far away on bedrock, they don't really render. So it's very, you can kind of see those pieces of glowstone over there if you really squint. They're actually covered with trapdoors. You aren't really supposed to see them, but the trapdoors don't load in. So it made that building look very interesting from far. This is a like farmhouse I have going on. It's a very interesting color palette, I think, but there's a decent interior to it. It's got a little balcony. A little balcony over here too. Kind of view out. So, I mean, I could probably do more with this place, but it's very nice looking, I think. And it's got a little path around the entire property. This is my wheat farm. I have a new redstone-esque wheat farm, but that's in the industrial area over there, so we'll get to that. Over here is the copper golem my friend made when he was spreading his religion around, I guess. So he put this all over my base, and I left this one up. I just think it's funny. This building, this like sandstone building, has a very different color than the rest. I try to use very different colors when I'm building, just because it makes I think it makes the area pop a lot more. So like you have like the oranges and then the reds and it's just a very interesting blend. And as I said earlier, I think this is the axolotl building. So this is where I breed axolotls, trying to find the blue one. I still don't have them, but we'll get them. We'll get them. Over there are the docks. So this the Guardian farm is actually down there. So the docks, I guess, technically come from the Guardian farm. And then down this path, if we just keep walking, we get the lava chicken building. I'm out of food. I'm gonna run out of food soon. That's no good. Guess it's the perfect time for the lava chicken building. So we have this machine. I haven't really done anything with it, but this is a lava chicken. Oh my god, this is perfect. And then it kills the chicken, and then he becomes food. Of course, the lava chicken disc is in here, so it's a very cool place. This is my quote-unquote mega base. I haven't really finished it or worked on it in forever, but it is ginormous. I want to build like a whole castle in this corner, or like a whole more castle structure, and then put something in there. And probably over there too. There's the farm there to fill up space, but. And here is my moss farm. I have to redo the floors too. This place is a lot of work. And here's the happy gas area. So there's a little snow generator. It's the pool for my dried gas, so they can grow up, and then it's an open roof, so they can hop out. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a lot of useful blocks in here. I'll have to move them to my storage system. And here's my old bamboo farm. I have a newer bamboo farm, but this one still works. It's flying machine based, so it's kind of inconsistent. I'm not trying to spend too much time here, so I'm not gonna show the farm too much. But so up here, this gets to the main area. This is actually a hole for happy gas, and that is a wall I haven't finished. So this place is still under construction, but I wanted to do the tour because the rest of the world's in pretty good shape right now. So I figured now would be the time, and then by 10,000 days, the pyramid will be done. So moving on from the pyramid, we are coming to the villager area. So, like I said earlier, I like having my villagers in a big area, and this is my personal villager area. So that's where I keep the librarians. There's Fletchers. Yeah, Fletchers in here. We got farmers in. Oh my, I'm griefing. I'm griefing. Dude, what is going on? Oh, they picked up the seeds. The farmers will fix it. They know what's up. Yeah, the farmers harvest stuff here all the time. Have all the Arctic foxes in here, which I think is really funny. Have some more extra farmers because I wanted to buy more stuff from them. And then the stonemasons, which are super useful for building. They have bricks, they're where I get all my bricks. They get glazed terracotta and quartz. They're so good for quartz, especially when you're rich. So that's a very nice plus side of the villagers. So continuing on this path. We're gonna come down to here. And this is the library. So the library doesn't have any books or anything. It's just a very nice little area. I made it when the Wild update came out, and I used the chiseled bookshelves, the chiseled bookshelves. Man, I can't speak. And put the cherry blossom, and it turned out very well. I'm really happy. And it's a little weird having a big dark pyramid in the background, but it when you're looking from this way, it does look very nice. And then continuing down, this was supposed to be when I heard of the armor trims. I thought, oh wow, I'm gonna need a building for the armor trims. Let me just make one. That's kind of long. And then I never populated it. And then my friend monked the shit out of me, and he did it really well. And then this building never got used. So yeah, but I have to go this way because been we've been back down at the end of the path. So continuing up here, we are in the church. It's a pretty simple church. I use it for my beacon, and I don't know. It definitely has more of an interior than most of the builds in this world, which sucks. I've been trying to improve that, but here we are. Over here is the moss farm. Or no, this isn't the moss farm. This is the moss vegetation farm, which I don't use because I have an actual moss farm now. But there's a bone meal area, little trapdoors, and then this is just the village. So up there's the castle. It's a very big castle. I'll get there in a minute. I just want to finish everything out on the main plot of land. And here is the bees. So I have a bunch of bees, and they get the flowers, they pollinate, and I harvest honey bottles, honey, all sorts of things. This is the sheep farm. The sheep farm actually got struck by lightning, and all the sheep died. So I don't know why there's a llama in there, but yeah, they're all dead. I've been thinking about repopulating it recently. Oh no, one of them lived. The green one lived, but all the ones over here, oh, some of them are alive. But I have to repopulate, and that's on the bucket list. That's definitely something to do. Heading back down this way. This is the frog area. So this is where all the frogs are. I have two different types of frogs, and I keep them in here. And then this is where I like breed them and stuff. So nice-ish area. I can probably get rid of the torches and come up with more creative light, but have not done that yet. And I believe that's everything from the main plot. So now to more of the underground stuff. So we have this little plaza area. This plaza kind of loops around under this bridge. This is where I get my cocoa beans. This is under the bee farm. This is when Spring to Life came out. I started growing like flower petals here. And you can kind of tell I'm using all the new flowers. And then this also leads to my creeking area, which has a little like quarantine under my base. The Pale Garden, yeah. So you come down here. They're probably in right now. Oh, there he is. Let's see if I can make it. So yeah, it's the Pale Garden. It's just like an underground thing with a lot of pale wood and whatnot. And there's this door, so you can see them through the door. And there's like an automatic farm component, but I'm not going to demonstrate it. But those things move up and down, and I can get them in a pit and hit them all. So it was pretty good for getting resin, if I'm going to be honest. And on to the next section, which is the castle, I believe, before I move to the industrial part. So this is the castle. One of the first things I made, but I keep renovating it, and now it's pretty big. So I have a little waterfall entrance in, and then this cave could use some terraforming for sure, but that is what it is. And this is the main section of the castle. So over here, there's a sugarcane farm. Not the biggest one. I have a super sugarcane farm over on the industrial side, but uh, this one worked for a while. This is the back door, AFK room, and then this is my smelter area. So I smelt things, and then I leave them in the chest and don't take it out. But this is where I smelt. This is a back door area. This actually leads to my cactus farm, which used to be linked to furnaces for XP, but this thing has existed for so long, it is just all backed up, which I think is really funny. But I have more cactus than anyone could ever want, ever. And then up on these stairs, there is actually a whole bunch of nothing. I did a renovation up here with plans, and then I never did anything. But it looks cool. It makes the place a lot more roomier. Something's gonna go back there eventually. I don't know what, but there's plans. And then I believe it's the far. Nope, it's the close one down. So going down the elevator, this will bring you to the village area actually. So there's this like icy room, and this is right back down to the villages. So everything's kind of connected in its own way, which is very cool, I think. There's a creeper on the hill. I'm very scared. So that's everything down at the bottom, but we're gonna go up before we come back down. Actually, no, I lied. We're gonna go down, and then we're gonna work our way. No, I double lied. We're going up. So this is the top of the castle. This is another very used area, and this is a map of this base. It is ginormous. I think it's the biggest area on the server by a large margin, but this is it. I'm gonna go to bed so that the Phantom Zone attack, because the Phantom Zone pissing me off. And we are going to head down the bubble elevator. And this is a small netherwood farm in a little cave area. This place isn't really used much. This is the tower and my little guy on the side. What? He's been up there forever. Isaiah hasn't let him drop. What? Dude, how'd he get down? Ah, he's gonna despawn. No. Do you have a name tag? Oh, dude, he's done. He's finished. Name tag. Why is there name tags in just a random chat? I'm so confused. Oh, I don't have enough iron, dude. This guy might be fried. Yeah, this guy's done. There's a creeper too. Stuff just kind of happens at this base. I take it as it is. So this is that elevator I was actually just in to get to the villager area, and it leads all the way up here if you ride it all the way up. So anyway, going back inside, we're gonna go to the renovation area. So this place actually has an exterior, and it's a pretty neat area. So this is a flower area. So the purpose of this is that it has all the little flowers on the floor, and in the chests, and you can come over and you can just bone meal them. Yeah, and then you can get more stuff from just bone mealing them. It's a pretty neat system. And then the two talls are over there, so you can bone meal them and just get more. This is the staircase up. And that gets you back to the main area. So we have a little prisoner on this side, furnaces. I have not found my single piece of iron yet. I've been looking. I've been looking very casualty. So we're gonna go back down. I made this pretty cool staircase. Down there's my subway system. We're gonna be actually checking that out in a minute. I'm working on that right now, but it is pretty useful, especially for getting around like this base. So in here is my amethyst geode for when I get my amethyst. Not really a crazy area, just a very small area. That's the super subway. That's down on the bottom. That never gets used. And this is my underground area. So we have like vines, the geode. It's a pretty neat area. There's some stuff down here. Like I have a mushroom farm, just like a micro mushroom farm. You place a water bucket down on this side and it pushes them towards you. It's nothing too crazy. There's a lava pillar. And then that's just, there's nothing back there. We have nether vegetation over here. And you flick this lever and it just makes a bunch of nether vegetation. I did not realize it was still stocked, but now I have a bunch of nether vegetation. I'm gonna take it. So, it's pretty useful. Got a lot of warp fungus, warp roots, and things. This is where I was gonna keep my goat horns, but I think I moved most of them. And then over here is just like a grass walk to my coarse fruit farm, which I actually come here kind of frequently for it to be so ugly. I'm gonna redo it eventually, but this place was kind of abandoned after a while, and I moved my focus elsewhere. But I think this is a good time to show off the subway. So the subway connects most of my base together. It has a couple of major stops on it. One of them being here. This just leads back up to the main room of the castle. You hop on the ice, and it's an overworld subway. So this will take you to the cocoa bean area, actually. So just to demonstrate, I'll kick you out, and then here's you right up here. There's where the cocoa beans are. Gets you a pretty good view of this area. And then jump down, get in the boat. And then this gets you to the main area. So right over here. To not like the starting area for sure. And then this is like my mine. So I mine a shit ton down here. I'm gonna put like a village down there just because it's a giant hole. I think it's fun. And then this brings you to the farm area, actually. So here it is. So I'm gonna actually go back to the main area. This one down there takes you to the industrial, but the industrial is a lot easier if I take it one building at a time. So we're gonna start with the first storage room. So that's right up here. This was my first storage room. This place is empty now. I used this place for a couple of years actually. I just got retired a couple months ago for that building over there. And this one is my new, definitely not advanced storage system, but it is bigger and has some interesting features to it, which I like. So it's not fully automatic, but what it is it's very decorated. And it's got a couple key things. So you can just unload and it goes into the chest. I wish there was a way to like lock hopper or like a one slot hopper would be awesome. But lo and behold, I don't get one slot hoppers, so the hoppers get filled, but it just automatically puts stuff in the chest, which I think is pretty useful. I don't know why this is in here. That is not supposed to be in there. For the ones that get too big, what I do is I give them a copper golem, and the copper golems thing is if it overflows from the way like hoppers work, there's a bunch of unfinished like stacks, and the copper golem it'll check the chest, and if there's an unfinished stack, it'll finish the stack, and it's very useful in that regard. So a lot of times the overflow chest will get filled, and then the copper golem will just resort everything back into the chest, and then the overflow chest isn't filled anymore. Up here, this is my unloading area. So I have shulker unloaders. They go kind of slow. I don't use like minecarts or anything, but then it pushes it, and then they wind up back on this line. And then this gets to all the components of the system, so I can just quickly see what it is, and I can run over in a more compact area. So it saves a lot of time on sorting. Downstairs is my like work area. This is a very work in progress. So I have like my forge, so my smithing table, my anvils. I got a bunch of upgrade stuff in there. Enchanting. Got a spear. It's pretty fun to work. It's pretty fun to mess around with. And that is it for the storage system. Really, it's got a bunch of shulkers in here. It's a pretty cool building. And down here is the tree farm. So under this big pavilion, it's just I grow a bunch of trees and I cut them down. This is a phantom shield, really, and it also just looks cool. Just a giant pavilion. But yeah, so I just grow every tree. And then down here is the start of the industrial area, which is the newest area. There's some work to be done on it for sure, but I think it looks pretty nice. It's very gray right now. I'm definitely adding color soon. But this is my wheat farm. This place is work in progress. I don't have enough hay bales for the walls, so I built the farm first, and I was gonna get the hay later. So while it's growing, there's gonna be no walls while it's growing. This is the subway entrance, so that'll just take you down back that way. Over in this area is the lava farm. This is also a work in progress. You just need a lot of dripstone, so that's why I stole them from the dripstone farm. And then a lot of cauldrons, which isn't a problem. So that'll go all the way up, and I'm gonna have more lava than I know what to do with. Over here was actually where perfect timing. I need food. This is the pumpkin pie farm. So all I gotta do is flip this lever, and it turns on an auto crafter and makes pumpkin pie. And it does that through the super duper pumpkin pie factory. So and I have a crazy pumpkin farm which has a leak in the hopper system somewhere, but I make a stupid amount of pumpkins. It's like absurd amounts. And then I have the super sugarcane farm, which makes absurd amounts and somehow gets eggs in them. And then I have to fix the hopper leak. I don't know what it is, but the next 100 sacks of pumpkin pies, I know there's nothing that's gonna go wrong in the crafter, but just flip the lever and pumpkin pies get made. Here, I'll show. Bang. Wow, it's broken. Really? How did this happen? I'll worry about this. Actually, we're gonna worry about this right now. Oh, there's a leak. That's what it was. There we go. We're back. Alright. So I completely lied. There was a leak. So that's a problem, but the actual farms individually, they work fine. So that's cool. Over here is the gold farm. And it just produces gold. I flip the lever and I press the button, and then I get some gold. And Trident Killer. This place also needs a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done, for sure. But there's gold, gold nuggets, anything you would expect from a gold farm. Got that little back alleyway. So the final two buildings. This is the Tower of the Happy Gas. I just made a house for my Happy Gas, really. I don't know why. It's completely worthless, besides having a Happy Gas in it. There he is, and he gets a little spiral staircase and a dome. And actually, I do really like this build. It has a certain charm to it. And you come up top here, and the view is something. But that is all there really is to the Happy Gas area. It's pretty cool. And then the final building. This is, I don't know what this building is. It's a farm building, really. So it's got like a marketplace area down inside of it. Nothing really actually goes on inside of it. It just kind of looks cool. Add some scale to it. I'll put something down here eventually. But the real meat and potatoes is in this building. We got lots of high-tech contraptions in here. So in the center, we got an iron farm. Of course you have an iron farm. So this thing cranks out iron. It changed my life. Make an iron farm. This is like a recent build, and it is, I'm telling you, the best thing I've ever done in my life. I just woke up one day and this was here. Yeah, there's some problems in this world. This is my sniffer farm, so get a bunch of seeds. I got sniffers up top. And the sniffers be doing beautiful work. Oh, spoilers. Okay, I can't get in. But this is where I plant all the seeds. So the seeds get planted at the top. The sniffers live in the middle layer, and then I harvest everything on the bottom layer. And then this is my bamboo farm. So it automatically crafts bamboo into bamboo blocks. Just because I have so much of the actual bamboo, I don't really need just to farm actual bamboo, and there's no real use for it. So I just get everything turned into bamboo blocks, and it does what it needs to. And that is 85% of my Minecraft world I have with my friends. It is a huge world, a lot of unfinished things. Not, it's not very the most polished world ever. I think it's a pretty average Minecraft world. It's just big, right? Just because I've had it for so long, and I mean, I play a lot of Minecraft, so things are gonna get finished. Things are gonna get more polished as time goes on, and yeah, I just wanted to show it. I wanted to have a place to really put it on the internet somewhere. So yeah, thanks for sticking around. If you did, if you just really skipped where I told you to skip, or skipped to the end, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for watching. I might see you another time, maybe. I don't fucking know. Goodbye. Fuck you.